Good morning. Hi, it's Vone Kevitz, knit and crochet designer for One of a Kind Makers Who Dare to Be Original. And I am here for Saturday Live. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to find me in case you guys are still, hopefully it's working. I'm still on my phone. I haven't quite figured out how to go back onto my laptop yet. And if you're joining, say hi so I know who you are. And hi, Liz. Good morning, Sunshine. Uh, my best friend calls me Sunshine too. She used to always say, "Good morning, Sunshine." She would text me in the morning and do that. I'm going to turn on the fan because I just realized it's gotten really hot. Unless I just braid my hair. Maybe I'll just braid my hair. Because what's happening is when I put on the ceiling fan, I when I put on the ceiling fan, it just makes this woo, 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 woo noise. So it sounds like we're in a wind tunnel. So I shut it off last second. And now I'm like sitting here and I think my glasses are steaming up. Okay. So, in true internet fashion, I overslept. And the house woke me up like literally 20 minutes ago. Good morning, Kathy. Morning, Lori. Who else is here? Kelly and Kathy. So the hubs woke me up literally 20 minutes ago and says, "Aren't you going live? At what time are you going live?" I said 9 o'clock. He goes, "It's 8:39." I'm like, "What? What is wrong with you?" He's probably been up like an hour or two, and he just says something now. And so I'm like, I'm jumping out of bed. I'm like, I didn't even make my coffee. I'm doing this. This is my first, like, unprecedented live without any coffee right now. My giant cup of coffee is a silly mug of water. But I wanted to do this. And then I was like, well, I had one part to finish for Mary's, I want to go higher so I can finish. So you're going to see me trying to whip this up fast enough. So one part to finish left with Ellen's scarf, the one that I started working on a while ago. And so Liz is still waking up too. Oh, great. So we're just rolling out of bed together on Saturday, which is kind of why I did it for this Saturday. Right now it's Saturday 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for me. It's just early enough for me to sleep in, and because it's the only day I sleep in, and I usually don't, but I've been so crazy busy with doing these patterns, and I have a day job, and I'm up late at night because that's the only time I can do it, and then which means less sleep, which means not getting up as early, and it just throwing me all kinds of off. So I think until I get into my designer routine, it's gonna be crazy like this for me. And so sleeping in, and now I'm like last minute trying to finish up whipping up, even though I've said that I'm done, which technically for the pattern I am done. And because all this is just a repeat till the end, or to my desired length. So it'll just be a repeat to your desired length when you and that's why. So I'm just going to keep going a little bit until give people a chance to come and find and join me, and then I will reveal the pattern names. I will reveal the Savvy Skeins pattern that I worked so hard all week for, that I'm so glad that I took a minute to like pray over it. And so I was on live with you guys. Feel the school start for us in a few weeks, so we're all on final countdown. Oh yeah, that's right. When do your kids go to school? Like, is it late August or is it after Labor Day in September? Because when I used to be in school, it used to be after September, but I know that a lot of kids start before Labor Day anymore. So you guys like at the end of August? So, and I want to share it. So last week I was on live with you guys doing this, working on this scarf, this basket weave pattern for Ellen's yarn. Okay, so the upside of, I finally figured out that I can do portrait, which I like a lot better. I like portrait just because I can look at this the screen, the camera's in the center, so I'm not looking like all cross-eyed, trying to read the comments and going live. And my husband's always like, you don't need to look at yourself to talk to yourself. I said, it's a weird thing where I have to look, it's like I'm looking at the people that I'm talking to. I can't look at a dot. When I look at a dot, I can't, if I focus on that dot, I can't think of what I'm going to say. It's like I'm oblivious. So if I look at my reflection, I feel like I can talk to you comfortably. Isn't that weird? It's like a weird subconscious thing. So when I was doing it from the landscape way last week, it was just all kinds of uncomfortable and crookedness. But it probably should have served better this route when I show the wrap that I'm gonna show you what I made for Savvy Skeins, for Allie Mae. So, but this one, so we were working on this one. I was showing you a sneak peek at this basket weave. I shared in the Facebook group later on that week what I was talking about that makes this scarf really special, and I hope I can get it long enough while I'm chatting here with you to show you how special it is, because I just need it to get to the desired length before I cut it off and finish it off. But so meanwhile, hey Savvy Skeins, oh, you are here to see the reveal. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna put this down for 2 seconds and show you guys the reveal. So I was working on this and I said I was praying for it on that beautiful yarn, which I no longer have the skeins anymore, praying for what to do because I wanted to make it really special, and I didn't know, I wanted to make it special, but I also wanted to be able that everybody else can do this too. So it's beginner intermediate. I wanted to, so that if you are a brand new, if you're a brand new beginner, you can get this pattern, you can do this wrap, and it's gonna look like you've been crocheting for years and eons. And that's the purpose of when I create patterns. I like to do simple things with really fancy techniques that, like simple fancy techniques that make it look fancy so that it looks like you're an expert. So I didn't want like those to create fancy lace or do anything kind of wrap that it would intimidate a new crocheter. And just even like this one, how this is a really simple crochet technique. A brand new newbie can do this, to do this one too. And so, but it looks like a basket weave, so it looks really fancy, but it is really not fancy. And with all my patterns, I will be filming tutorials of how to make these stitches. So in the pattern, in every one of my patterns, I have links to videos that I've made showing you how to do like harder parts. So with Allie's wrap, there will be a full tutorial of how to do, like, I'm going to do a tiny wrap, a tiny version with hers, and to show you a tutorial of how to do the bigger version. So you'll see all the things I mean, but it's going to be in a tiny little thing for the magic of television, because I don't know how to edit and do all kinds of speed things, so I'm not going to do that. But you'll see every stitch, you'll see all the little techniques for that wrap. And so I'm gonna put this down and get ready. Are you ready? So my story was, let me finish. So my story was on Sunday. So I get on live with you guys. I said I'm gonna pray over this because I want it to be very special. And on Sunday, I was standing here ironing. This studio table is also my laundry table, you know, when I'm finishing, because my laundry machine is right there in the pantry. So I do that, and then I come here, and my ironing table goes right back here, and I'm standing here, and I'm ironing, and all of a sudden, I remembered an old scarf that I did a while back. I did a tutorial on the faux cable, on the chains faux cable, and for some reason I was thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, that would look gorgeous, but I did it in a horizontal, like a scarf way. I said that would look gorgeous in a long vertical, like a landscape way, and do the chains going up and the faux cable going up. And I thought that would be gorgeous in that yarn, in that color. And I think it would look really neat to have the faux go up with the two colors of the stripe. And the light bulb like just turned bright on. I think I picked up the phone and immediately messaged Allie saying, oh my God, I got it. I got it. It's going to be beautiful. And I just wanted to share that moment because when we have like inspiration like that, those are the times of things that our brain like has a moment where you get an idea and you ideas stay ideas when they get stuck in that brain. So when you hear me say that ideas have no rights without action, that's what I mean. And how many times do we sit in that moment of those brilliant ideas of the things that we want to do in life, but we don't act? We just say, oh, that would be nice. And then, or we say, we'll do that later. We don't write it down. We don't revisit it. And then we forget about it and we don't come back. Luckily for me, I have accountability in this moment because I have the yarn in front of me and I have to do something because the person who sent me the yarn is waiting for a response. And so that puts me in execution mode. But I want to pause a minute so that when we are in that state, that accountability on the outside world, like what I'm working on right now, is not needing that outside accountability and focusing and trying to make sure that my inner accountability does the same thing. The reason why I say that is because I've been for the past year and a half, I have not created anything new. And I've been sitting in a lack of creativity for a long time because the enemy got the best of me. Speaking of which, and I'm so sorry that we are in 20 minutes into this live, but I wanted to come on for a minute to come on. Before I start these lives anymore, these Saturday lives, I want to say a prayer. And I totally forgot because out of habit, I just jump on live because I get nervous. I was running late and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I got to get all this done. And I didn't even completely finish her scarf. So I was like, I'm going to do all this live. And I totally forgot that I wanted to come on here and start all my lives in the more with a prayer. So I'm going to stop at 13 minutes and say a prayer with me, guys. Okay. Lord, thank you for this great time that we have together, for bringing me together with these amazing women. And I hope that we have a beautiful hour together so that we can share our creativity and to come together and join our hearts together in honor of you, into celebrating your gifts that you've given us, and in a beautiful community of kind, amazing women that are continually inspired by your grace. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you, ladies, for I meant to do that right before I start, which I will be doing that from now on before I start these lives on Saturday, because I just want to celebrate in gratitude of your time coming here and joining with me, because this has been a dream of mine forever, is just to have once a week to come together with a bunch of creative people that want to share our crafts together. And I never really know what we're going to do on these Saturdays, but I always know that it's going to be fun because I'm going to get to spend it with you guys. And that's why I was like, I'm really grateful for this hour, and I want to start our time together with a prayer. And so now we're back to the schedule. It's funny when I talk about how the enemy took me over. Thank you, Lori. when I talk about the enemy taking me over for a year and a half, is completely using my health, using everything, that all the lies that he has shared with me, and it empowered me. When I speak to you guys so passionately about all this, know that I'm not speaking on my soapbox. I'm not speaking from a higher plane that I figured it out. I'm living it. I'm battling it every day, day in and day out. I'm battling it so hard that when I get like a little strength of movement, you know what I mean, of moving forward, I feel fired up. Like when I feel God coming into me, and I feel connected with him, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. I feel so like moved by it that I just want to share it with everybody, because I know I'm not the only one that's stuck. I'm not the only one that's stuck. You know what I mean? This world is so hard. And I know I'm not the only one that's suffering. So I just use this platform. I use this this online life that I have, like this community that I have, to just share it with everybody. Go, you guys, we can do this. We can do this, and we can go forward, and we can go hard, and we just have to keep going, and you know what I mean? And we just have to keep looking to God for that strength and that grace. I don't even know why I'm so emotional about this. All right. So that's the reason why I was just so grateful for this week, is because I finally got to be creative again. And all the juices have come out, and I'm actually doing something about it and executing it, and I know it has every bit to do with the accountability of you guys showing up and sharing this time with me, which inspires me to do it. All right. So you ready? Allie, are you ready? Are you ready for the big reveal, guys? So Allie's beautiful yarn came with 2 skeins of the colored and 1 skein of like the solid dark, which she sent me like a charcoal. When I do this pattern, Allie will be selling this as a kit, and it's going to be amazing. So you can get this as a kit, and if you purchase the yarns with her, so it'll be the 2 skeins and a solid. You can, I think she's going to have it for this, for this pattern. I think she's going to have this exact kit, but maybe we can chat with her or see, because it's really early in the stage. If you guys prefer it two separate colors, and a different color for this, for the contrast, you know what I mean? So maybe you guys can like work a deal with her that you can do several different colors to do a skit. So I haven't really quite talked to her about it, but we'll see how it works out. But at the moment, the 2 skeins in this will be in a kit for this pattern. And when you purchase the kit with her, you're going to get my pattern for free, only because I love you guys. And so, so here we go. I just want to make sure I have it in the right. So this is the wrap. I knew I should have went landscape when I did this. I was like, I should have done landscape. So this is the wrap, and it is really long. I didn't take the full measurements yet, and it's going to go around. So this is the front. Do you guys see the beautiful, absolutely gorgeous? Do you guys see the beautiful, the chain, the faux cable? It's called faux cable. So it's like a loop cable going up. The reason why it's called faux cable is because it's not fancy at all. It's just chains. It's strips of chains. So you're gonna do stitches, and then you're gonna do chains over here. So it's like really loose, really big, and you're like, what is Devone doing? This is crazy. And you're gonna go like all these rows above, and then when you're all done, you're gonna fold those chains up, and it's gonna look like this, and it's gonna be beautiful. And so this wrap goes like this, and I'm gonna put it behind me. So I'm now gonna make that's the back, and the back is pretty too. If you just wear this as a scarf, which that's probably what I'll be wearing it as, which I told her I'm not selling this. This is not going in the shop. This is mine, guys. So if you're looking to get this, you're not. You're gonna have to go buy your own yarn you're gonna have to go buy the kit. heard what I'm saying. Hold on. I'm gonna come back to these guys. And so this is so the other opposite side of that is there's the loop. So it's still pretty. It's like a pretty lace, but you won't see the loop. So that's the back. And so I want to, so it goes like this. And so this is gonna go around my arm. And it wraps around. And it's just the right length. So I scheduled a photo shoot with my model this Friday. So she will be coming to take a picture of this scarf, of Ellen's scarf. And this is a chain. I debated on several different loose chains, but I think I just I did a simple chain. Now I've tried to I was going to consider doing a thick one and a thin one where I doubled the yarn, but I prefer this, so I can keep it like a cape. And so it's just going to wrap around the arm. So do you see it? How beautiful that is? And it's going to go like that, but mostly, so that is just for to wear it as a wrap and to secure it. I'll most likely be wearing it as a scarf, and because I'm in Northeast PA and I'm from I was born by the equator, I have a tendency where I will be wearing my scarf like this and just completely bundle it up. This is how I normally wear my scarves. So I usually go all winter like this. And so, so I'm super excited about this. And can I tell you, when I worked with this yarn is so gorgeous. Allie has done an amazing job sourcing her natural fibers and dyeing these beautiful colors. It would also be amazing in a silk blend. It would be drapey. I completely agree. But it actually gets silkier than this blend because this is ridiculous how soft and loose this is. And but do you like it? Do you guys like it? Let me show it to you again on this side. And wait until you see all the full pictures. Wait until you see my model in full scale. It's gonna be gorgeous. It would be so lovely. The weight is what? Allie, can you tell her what the weight of this? I think she said DK. You know, the funny thing about my new designer lifestyle is I never paid attention to yarns and wools or weights and thickness or anything. I never paid attention to scale and gauge because I don't make garments. I make accessories. So, and that's why, because I don't want to worry about fit. I'm just going back just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Minor Illinois first. Which one do not miss the maggots? Oh, thank you. We need prayers and guys so good. Ellie Mae is here. Oh, Ellie Mae is popping in and out. We're gonna get to Ellie Mae's pretty soon. Okay, I didn't miss anything. I heard a wonderful saying this week. A friend of mine posted that she couldn't remember where she heard it. When the devil reminds me of my past, I need to remind the devil of his future. Oh, amen. How do you say your name? Tamila? That is so good. When the devil reminds me of my past, I need to remind the devil of his future. Oh my gosh, that is so good. I need to remember that. It's DK. Okay, Kathy, yarn designer, both lovely. If you need a tester for this pattern, let me know. I do need a tester for this pattern. So Kathy, you're volunteering? That's awesome. Can I get another volunteer to test this pattern? Kathy, you're in. Yes. Oh, Ellie is watching and she's at Ryan's barrel race right now. That's good to know that Ryan's completely. Tamila, like Pamela. Oh, Tamala. Okay, Tamala. Thank you. That's beautiful. I have to remember that. And all right. So Ellen is gonna pop in and out. So I just want to quickly get to hers real quick too. So I do need pattern testers. So Kathy, will you message me? Will you send me? I prefer. If you're on Instagram, send me a DM just tell me who you are if your name doesn't match your and if not Facebook group, just message me. Or so if you're in the Facebook group, just send me a messenger through Facebook, and I will. Once I type this up, I will need you can test this pattern for me, and I need somebody else to test this pattern. So if you guys want to volunteer and test the pattern, give me a send me a message and let me know, and then I just need a couple, and then when I get it typed out. So that's actually the game plan this week. So this week was creating this. Next week is typing, or this coming week is typing this up. I'm going to insert the photos in. Awesome. Send me a message. Okay, perfect, on Facebook. And I will, so we can make sure my numbers are good. And then on Friday, my photo shoot with my model will be coming into where this, so I'll have all the pictures ready to go with it inside the pattern. And I'm hoping in 2 weeks, we start these out, like in 2 weeks. So I thought that I would be doing one at a time. I never thought that I would have two of them at the same time, but it came fairly quickly to me. So this is the wrap, and somebody in the Facebook group suggested it because she saw the starry night. Somebody said it looks like a starry night, and so she suggested, Ellen from the Facebook group suggested that I call it Phoebe, because Phoebe was somebody that would carry get the letters from Paul and deliver his letters from Paul or to Paul. Like, I didn't read the full account in Romans, and I think he named her like the first deacon or something. Just sent an instant message. Oh, awesome. Okay, that's you, Kelly. Also, Kelly sent me a message. I will look at that shortly, Kelly. Awesome. I'm glad we're connecting on Instagram. So she suggested Phoebe, and I absolutely love it. So this pattern will be called Phoebe, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that she suggested it, because I just think it's perfect. It's perfect. And then I toiled over it. I was talking to my model yesterday, because we go on our weekly grocery rounds together on Friday nights. We batch our grocery, and it's just Friday nights. And so I suggested Phoebe with in the Bible, the King James Version is, I just saw it spell it with Phebe, and we normally know Phoebe with an O, and I'm assuming over the times we've inserted the O in translation somewhere, and it got lost in translation somewhere, the Phebe, but that is the way that I want to spell it for the pattern. The purpose of me naming female characters in the Bible with my pattern names is to intrigue and inspire people who come across my patterns, to people who learn about my patterns or do anything with the names, want to pick up the book, the good book, and find out who this person is about, what this character is about in the Bible. And that's why I name my patterns that way. And so I felt it disingenuous if I kept the O in there, if it wasn't originally. And so I think it's more intriguing that it's Phebe, which is the original way, and that would make people hopefully want to question and go, it's spelled differently. Why is this? And they Google it, and then that verse will come up. And that is my point in creating those names, is to help anything to get us opening the Bible, right? Is our call. Is my call. So this is Phoebe, and I'm so happy that it's all done, and it is gorgeous, and I love wearing it. I loved making it. I loved making this so much, and it feels so good, and it's gorgeous. The yarn, like, I'm a huge fan. I will be as soon as we come into any kind of money, guess where my money is going into? Guess which shop my money is going to? is getting more yarns from Savvy Skeins. So this is the Phoebe the wrap. So you asked me what size yarns it is, and I'm as a pattern designer, I do not know yarns. Like I said, I don't pay attention. Anyway, we can inspire a witness. Amen. Amen, Kathy. So last night, all day at work, went shopping and grocery shopping. So it was a long day, long night. I'm gonna let this kid go because he's been crying. Come on, Liz. You going out? You going out? I know. He's a persistent little bugger. He will not stop. And I've heard my interviews where where all he will do is cry in the background. It is so annoying. So I went home from work. My model picked me up. She was actually waiting for me here when I got home, so I didn't even just enough time to run to the bathroom, grab my bags, and head out, kiss John, and head out. And so I come back, and I need grocery shopping. Yes, so much fun, Ellen. We discovered it like about a year ago how much we both don't like grocery shopping together and or separately. And so when we figured out a night that we could both do it, and it was just more fun that way. And so we just make our Friday nights grocery night, and we do it all. And once in a blue moon, we'll have to come back and all right. So we'll have to go back in the middle of the week and pick up something, but rarely we don't. We usually save all of our shopping for that evening, and we get dinner, and we just make it an evening of it. And it's a beautiful time to be with her, and John has a beautiful time to be by himself for a minute. And so I come home, and I saw a package at my studio because my hubby's put it here on top of my laptop, and I opened it up, and it's Happy Mail from Ellen from Sanko Farms, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? So Ellen gifted me these barrels of wool fiber. What do you call these things? What is the name of this? From her sheep, that of her 3 sheep that she raises. And what are these called? Do they consider this fiber, or do they just call this wool? Do they just say this is wool? What is the official name? So she says that I have to go on YouTube. These are called bumps. So these are called bumps. Okay. Well, I would have never known that, Ellen. Wool ready to spin. Look at it, and I can't wait to try this. So she sends me this. It's roving bumps. Roving bumps. Oh, that's awesome. And then these things, which I'm assuming it looks like I'm gonna be going on YouTube. So it's gonna go in here, and I've seen people do it. I saw the picture of of Ryan doing it. And then you spin it. I think I was at a yarn show one time too, and I saw them working, and I just love watching the handmade world create. So I'm so excited that I'm gonna get to try this. This is a Turkish drop spindle. Awesome. I know, Kathy, I know. You guys are gonna make me so powerful. You have no idea. But it was funny because so last week I said knowledge is power. I think in my Ravelry video I said knowledge is power, but I learned this week, I was listening to Rachel Hollis at one of her podcasts, where she said knowledge is not power. We've gotten lost in the translation somewhere over the times where we thought that if we knew something, it would make us powerful, and it is not the case. And when she finished the statement, I realized, oh my God, it's so true. Knowledge is not power. It's disillusioned power. That's like ideas having no rights without action, And so she said knowledge with applied power. knowledge with applied action is power. That's what gives it power, is when we actually act on our knowledge, because when it's in the mind, it serves nobody. There's no power in the mind unless we actually use it, unless we actually live it out, unless we actually create it, unless, you know what I mean? And so I was like, knowledge with applied action equals power. That's what gives us. Hey, Sultana, so glad you can join us. We're just talking about the beautiful gift that Ellen has sent me. These are roving bumps, and I will be adding, what do we call it? Yarn spinning to my, so I'm so excited to be looking into be examining into this world. Probably later on this weekend, I will take a peek into what YouTube has to share with me, because that's the thing about anything we want to do in life, right? Any questions we have, ignorance is no longer ignorance on in 2019 is a choice. So if you don't know anything, if you don't know a topic, if you don't know an answer to anything, that is on you. That is not on anybody else. That's awesome. So ignorance is a choice. So I will be learning a new skill sometime this week. Hopefully this weekend. Well, this weekend I have to go to my aunt's. She's got a party that I'm going to go help her cook. So that Allie's Phoebe pattern is all done, created, and now I have to write it out, and I'm going to get some testers, message me, and this is the, oh, I'm showing it backwards. This is the beautiful wrap that I can't tell you how gorgeous it is. Wait until you see it on my model. I just dropped my hook. I'm going to finish this one up so my second reveal is, so I messaged, the reason why I paused Ellen's pattern, because I knew what I was doing at this point, and I'm just going to get it a little bit more. If I can get it I need a little bit more. I should have woken up, Ellen, I totally apologize. I should have woken up earlier to finish this, and I thought I had time, but the hubs woke me up literally 20 minutes before this live. And you know, my old way would have been like, oh, I would have procrastinated this meeting and I would have pushed it off because I didn't finish what I had intended to do. And I would have been too embarrassed to show up. But I figured, you know what? These Saturdays, we're friends here. If I was to tell you that I'm going to do something, I'm going to bring this into our crochet along today, and this is as far as I got. How could I show, like, back in the day, I would be like, no, I can't show up. I'm going to fake a sickness because I don't want to be embarrassed for not being ready. But we wouldn't do that in real life, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to do that. When those form center, when you spin in those, it forms a center pool ball. Oh, it makes it easy to apply 2 or 3 more strands together. No worries. Ellen, so actually, oh, I hit something. So this thick roving yarn is 1 ply? Is that what you're saying? Like this huge, massive 1-inch thick strand is 1 ply? And so to do these, to do yours, how many ply is your yarn? So that's 3. So that's 3 of these in your yarn, like spinning together. Is that how it works? And then I'm getting a full-on education right now. So then for Allie's, for Savvy Skeins yarn, this is like really, really thin yarn, but this looks like it's ply too. So did this start out with one of these spun super, super tight, or not? Or is this smaller? Are they all starting like this, and then we eventually get this? Yes, Yes, Lila was a 3-ply, but your 3-ply is different from, it looks like hers is a 3-ply too. Let me go, let me pick up this yarn. This looks like it's a 3-ply too. No, this is actually, this is actually a 4-ply. Savvy Skeins, yes, it was done at the mill. Oh, so because so it's finer. So they actually don't. So so Savvy Skeins yarn is spun at the mill, so it can do finer. So it's actually not using this. It's probably using, the mill is probably starting off with like half this, whatever mills do. I know. I work at a textile mill, so. Oh, they are different in weights. Okay. So they don't all start off like this. This is just what we do, and it would produce something like this. Your bigger fly. I love education. This is the kind of education that I was not. I want to say I was not. I'll be honest with you. I was not interested in when I learned how to knit and crochet, because I was only interested in the finished product. So I didn't fully appreciate it's I didn't fully appreciate learning how to make yarn and spin yarn and that educating world. And it's kind of like me equate it to my life eating fast food, because I didn't want to learn how to cook, let alone garden when I was cooking. You know what I mean? So that to me is okay. So if I'm going to better myself, which is eating fast food restaurant, if I'm going to better myself in learning how to cook, which is basically knit and crochet, I'm going to make my own stuff. It's just me cooking in the kitchen. Now I look at going into this world as, let me grow my own food so that I can learn how to cook and do all that instead of eating fast food. To be healthier and to be happier in life. That to me seemed like a far stretch than to growing my own food and then learning how to cook it instead of choosing fast food restaurants, which is the best way to go. So that's where I am now at 41, is learning how to garden, so I can learn how to cook the food that I've grown instead of eating out. And I equate it to me spinning my own yarn, so that eventually I will be learning how to dye. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna save that for my friends, my beautiful friends at Savvy Skeins and Forbidden Fibers, and they can learn, they can do the dyeing into there. But I like to educate myself so that I know the work that it took, because I can't imagine. I can't. Allie, do you do any behind the scenes of your world? Because I would love to see what your behind the scenes is. I have to follow, I don't know. I follow you on Instagram. That would be cool if you ever get, if you ever get into the non-shy world and show us your behind the scenes, because I would love to see that, to see how you're creating these beautiful things, because this these colors are ridiculously gorgeous. Gorgeous. Like every stitch I was making, I'm like, this is so pretty. Like I never wanted to put it down. Check the future. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. See, guys, with a little intuitive, we can get everybody to share their behind the scenes. All right, so I don't know if I can. So I messaged Ellen yesterday. I said, I'm ready for your pattern. I was going to do the pattern reveals because I had every intention to completely finish this morning, because I thought it was just a couple more rows. And I might still, maybe by the time I'm done here. But I will share with you. So I wanted to, I needed a name for Ellen's scarf pattern. And we remember last week we talked about the sheep that she had was the mistake sheep, you know, that produced this beautiful buttery wool. And Lila was not in the Bible. I think there was another name that was suggested that was close to it and similar, but Ellen and I settled in on the most famous name of it, and I was saving it for something special. I was saving Mary for something special. That's why when I didn't do when I did my first two patterns, I have Ruth and Esther, and now we have Phoebe. I was saving Mary for something special because I didn't want the obvious to be overlooked, but I thought Mary would, because I asked Ellen, I was like, what do you think about Mary? Because I think it would be perfect because I'm designing, it's my first pattern design for pure wool. And so I loved that to call this one Mary, and she loved it. And so this pattern, this basket weave in the pure wool will be called Mary. And so I'm super, super excited about that. I was saving that name for something very special, and I thought designing for pure wool would is the best way to do that, and in a basket weave form. So if that isn't, if that doesn't make it more merry than ever, because what did she have our little baby Jesus in, right? Isn't it perfect? In in a basket. So I think it's perfect for this basket weave. So the reason why, so all I'm gonna do in this whole thing is basically just make it long enough. And I wish I could have made it long enough. And what happens is, instead of your normal scarf where you would make it and you would wear it normally, so it would look like a normal scarf. But if I could get it long enough, and you'll see, this pattern will be where there's a slit in here. And then you're going to take this in here, and you're going to wear it like this, and it's going to tie it up. So this is the length that I chose. I originally had this really, really long, right? Really, really long. And then I realized it is way too long. So I had to rip it all up, do the whole thing all over again, and started off several ways. The slit started off several ways shorter. So what's going to happen is by next photo shoot, you guys will see what this Mary is going to look like completely with the slit in here, and what this beautiful technique is. And you're going to see all the different ways the model will wear this scarf because of the slit, as opposed to having a regular plain scarf, black basket weave. So that will be that will be on Friday. So I will be doing the photo shoot then. So this pattern will be ready at the same time. So so that's, I hope you guys like this pattern, and it's gorgeous. But by next, I know by next Saturday we'll be done, because I'll have this the photo shoot ready to go, and you'll have all the photos for it. So that's my two patterns, Mary and Phoebe. And so I'm so excited about this. All right, we have a few more minutes. So do you guys have any questions? You want to talk about anything? What do you guys think of the prayer? Is opening up our session every week with a prayer sound like a good plan? I have to tell you, I was really nervous about that decision. I don't do public prayers. I certainly never open prayers. I certainly don't initiate prayers. I receive prayers. I listen in on prayers, but I've never done it. I've never led it myself. And I just, for some reason, in this prayer time is always good. Yes, it's so good. And I think doing anything in the public eye, it just enhances fear on a whole new level. It enhances fear and insecurity on a whole new level. But isn't that how Satan works? He loves to feed off of our fears and to keep us from not. So I could have been afraid and stayed afraid and said, no, I'm too scared and too chicken to open my time together with these ladies on a videoed prayer, and be, and let him win another round. And I couldn't. I want to make sure. Oh. I started gabbing, and So at the beginning of the week, I had to rip all that up to reset the slit, to reset where the slit was going to be. A whole ball of yarn, redo, and then I had to quickly work it back up. Same thing happened with Allie's wrap. I had it all done. I had it all done to the length I needed it and to gauge, and because you got to make it wider than what it is because of the chains. And but then once the chains fold up, I knew it would shrink the width of it. So I made it really, really wide, and it became too wide. I'm like, it's gonna be like this is gonna be like too long because it wasn't shrinking fast enough. So I had to undo that whole thing. And I was like, are you kidding me? At the beginning of the week, you saw my pictures in the Facebook group, to completely ripping it all back up and then redoing it again. But the funny thing about me is when I rip it up, I have to, it's like I have to work it back. Like I have to finish it off. Like, so I have to, like, I can't put the work down until I get back to the point where I discover the mistake, where before I ripped it off. So I will want to sit there and work through that ball until I get it all the way back to where I left it, where before I discovered the mistake, and then I can put the project down. Until then, like, there's no bigger fear of mine than to have a pile of unspun yarn in a ball that's going to knot up at any second. So if you work it before it gets a chance to knot up, you know what I mean, and get entangled and everything like that, because I've left it unworked, and then try to pick it up later and it's gotten all entangled, and then that's a whole mess to deal with. So for some reason in my head, like, I always want to finish and complete the mess up before I can put the whole thing down. And then once I get to the point where I got it all back up and I'm all good, and I knitted up or crocheted up the part that was all the mistake, then I can put the work down and be like, okay. And it took me an hour or 2 hours or 5 hours, whatever that looks like, to get back to square one. But at least I could be content. My husband and I are sitting here together going over our budget while listening. I was meeting while I was listening to this, and he thought it was awesome. He loves that too. Of my loves can intermingle. Crochet Jesus. Amen. Amen. Actually, I'll be honest. Tell your husband that without Jesus, there is no crochet. Without Jesus, there is no knit. Without Jesus, there is no yarn. Without Jesus, there is no craft. I believe that this is you know that I've said it over and over and over again. I will say it till the day I die. I believe that He has put such a gift in each and every single one of us to do amazing work in His name, whatever that looks like. And that's why for me, it's knit and crochet. For me, it's the love of yarn. Like, for me, it's the beautiful potential of what I can do with yarn with my hands. Like, that is like all the amazing things, like all the amazing creations. And this is just one skill. This is just crochet. You haven't even seen me in the world of knitting yet. And I have so fiber, speaking of Forbidden Fibers, she will be sending me yarn. I will be seeing her yarn very soon. She's off this week. And so I've sent my proposal all ready to go for that pattern. So I will be having an crocheted infinity scarf with Forbidden Fibers with the pocket. That bad boy is going to have a pocket. So I'm super excited. That's 3 different patterns. I'm going to need a name for that one too, guys. So you get your Bibles out, you start researching me some names, and you send them my way, and give me because I'm gonna need a 3rd name very, very soon for that pattern. And before you know it, I will finally have 5 patterns in my Etsy shop. So the same with Ellen's. I believe, right, Ellen? Because if you purchase Ellen's yarn through her, you will get my you will get we'll have the kit ready to go for Mary's scarf, and so if you purchase the yarn through her, you will get my pattern for free, also. I don't know if I actually even had that conversation with you, Ellen. I've had so many conversations, I'm not sure I had that one with you. But if I didn't, let's have that right now in public with everybody. You will get my pattern for free if you order the yarn through Ellen for Ellen's Yarn with her. Which we still have to help her set up her Etsy shop to get the yarn. Right, Ellen? So she might have dropped because I know she's in the middle of Ryan's race right now. So we'll if she comes back and sees us later, yes, ma'am, yes, we have to get your Etsy shop going. So, oh, and speaking of Etsy shop, which I have to do this weekend, I keep putting it off. Etsy is doing something new where they want to help promote free shipping. So, if you order 35, the national, hey, don't let me get in the way of the national anthem and prayer. uh, they if you offer free shipping for $35 and up, they'll help promote your shop more. So I will be doing that with my shop, is offering if you spend $35 or more, it's free shipping on my scarves and everything. So I will be using that same promotion. So be on the lookout for that. That's probably more of a fall thing when actually when I actually focus my Etsy shop on a finished product. And I believe I will be putting Mary up in the Etsy shop when I'm all done. So we'll see how that works out. So if you are watching me and you're not a knitter and crocheter yet, you can go check out this scarf when it's done. And what's awesome about these listings is all my YouTube videos, if you go to my Etsy shop, you'll see there's a section where your scarf is famous, and I list all the links that I show of me making your scarf. Me making the scarf that's listed on there. So it's called like your scarf is famous section, and that's all the scarves that I sell online that come with me somehow knitting or crocheting, making it on air in one of these YouTube videos. Because I was either like sharing about the technique, or just talking about my latest book and all that stuff. Speaking of the latest book, I just got my newest Audible book that I'm so excited about, that Ellen referred to me. Actually, several people referred it to me, but I think Ellen was the final straw that made me just get this book. It's called Better Than Before by... Are you still here? Who is it by? Gretchen Rubin? I think it's Gretchen Rubin. So good. What I'm listening to right now is already so good. So good. Gretchen, you just got, yeah, I think it's Gretchen Rubin. But Better Than Before. It's I think 2013, so I'm a little behind. Yes, Rubin. And I spelled it with a, I think I spelled it with an E. Is that a Reuben sandwich? So already I've gotten food in my head. That's my world. If you guys don't know me too well, I'm regulated by Jesus, yarn, and food. A whole lot of food. All right, so I think I've covered everything. So I didn't completely finish Mary, but you got the gist of Mary. You will have the full picture of Mary. I'm gonna do the photo shoot, so I'll probably do a sneak peek photos of that unedited for you. And then I will also be next live, this will be completely done. It will be completely done. And all I have to do is just make it a little longer so that I can wrap it around my neck, stick it in the slit, or wrap it twice around my neck and stick it in the slit. You're gonna see how gorgeous this basket weave scarf is. So this is Mary, beautiful pure wool from Lila, the famous sheep, and then this is the beautiful Phoebe wrap, Phoebe from Savvy Skeins. So that's my two creations that I made this week, all from my little noggin to my little hands, and with beautiful friends that are ridiculously talented in doing amazing work in the world. So, tag me if you guys are doing anything wonderful. I'm Vone Kavitz, and thank you for joining me this Saturday. And I hope to see you guys next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we can have more of this. Pretty soon, once I get these two patterns typed up and ready to go in my Etsy shop, if you order, the patterns will be in my Etsy shop. Thank you, Kelly. The patterns will be in my Etsy shop hopefully in 2 weeks. By the time I get everything typed up, I'm gonna need maybe 3 weeks, because I'm gonna need testers, because this is how pattern writing works. You need testers. You need to tech edit your work. You need get your photos in, template for the patterns. So one idea of creating is this aspect of creating. A whole other idea of creating is getting it all typed up. So that's a whole new world of, making sure your fonts and everything looks good the way you want it to look. That, and then once that gets edited and then you list it, that will be in my Etsy shop. If you get the yarns with those two beautiful ladies, you can get my pattern for free. And if you bought the pattern from me in my Etsy shop and you later decided, I would like to buy the yarn from these ladies to do your scarf, I will give you another pattern for free. So because you've already purchased the pattern from me, you can get another pattern for free. So don't worry about the free pattern that comes with their yarn, be it the one that you've already paid with me, or so that is just my general policy. That's just because if I promised you a free pattern and you've already paid for it, you're gonna get something else free. So that's so don't worry about that. So okay, guys, that's it. I'm gonna go over, and I don't want to go. I promised the hubbies we have a big day. I think we're doing yard work today, and I think we're painting the porch today. And somewhere along that line, I have to type up a pattern. Have a blessed weekend, guys, and have a blessed week. If you're joining us for Monday Morning Motivation, it will be on Instagram again, because I haven't figured out this whole runaround on Google Hangouts. So I'm sorry if you guys missed not being live, because Instagram did not let us record that. So I ended up doing like a little quick synopsis recording for Monday Morning Motivation, just to share a quote and a brief summary of what we chatted about. But it was an awesome hour last week. I don't know if it was the Instagram filter that just made me kept chattering up a storm. But thank you, Sultana. And because Sultana's a patron, Sultana will be getting these patterns in her mailbox as soon as they're ready, Sultana. So you don't have to worry about Sultana's a patron on Patreon. So finally, patterns are coming your way, Sultana. Aren't we celebrating? So that's that. All right, you guys. Until then, on Monday Morning Motivation, I'm on Instagram, and it may not be saved. We'll see. And then after everything else, thank you for sharing your process. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to do. That's That's what we're here for. If we don't share our process, then people won't know, and then people will be too afraid to do it themselves when everybody should be doing it themselves in whatever capacity, whatever way to create. It's just to go and do it, you know. Until then, until next week. Bye. God bless, guys. Bye bye.